There's been a huge change in the way men are looking at relationships these days, and I'm so excited to talk to you about what some of these changes are looking like. You know, for real men, and I say real men, not just the men that eat quiche, but real men that want to see a shift in their relationships with their partners, with their children, there's a couple things that we need to look at seriously today that's going to break tradition with the past. Men are built, men are made, men are born to come into this world and fix things. It's really true. I mean, it's been written about over and over and over in books on relationships and intimacy and more. However, I'm going to tell you that that's a lie we've been buying into when it comes to relationships. The worst mistake a guy can make in a love relationship is to try to fix his partner. The worst relationship stuff that guys can do with their kids is to try to fix them. I'm going to share with you today some powerful tips that will help you to, if you're ready, to shift to a brand new dimension when it comes to love and when it comes to family. Now, here's tip number one, and this is actually a golden rule for men, I believe. I lead men's groups, and when we talk about what men can do to make a big difference with their love relationship, the golden rule number one is never give advice unless asked. Never, ever, ever. Now, I've made that mistake so many times in the past that I've chosen with my partner is to be quiet. I'm not kidding you. Silence is gold, and silence is power. Silence is building love. When we have to constantly tell our partner what she can do, now this is in a heterosexual relationship, what she can do to do this better, and then she comes and says, you're not going to believe what Mary said about so-and-so, and we come up and say, well, you know what you should do with Mary? That's breaking the code of being a guy. The new code of being a guy is silence. It's a code of silence. It's a code of power. It's a code of strength. It's sitting in the fire. It's allowing your partner, it's allowing your woman to go through and to express herself emotionally, to express her worries, to express her fears, and be quiet with it. Sit in that discomfort. Instead of sitting there listening for a few minutes and saying, well, why don't you just blow it off? Why are you even hanging around with that person? That's not what your partner needs to hear. Let me tell you how I lead men's groups. We will sit in a circle, and one guy at a time will talk about the greatest challenges in his life. And he'll be talking about this, and he'll be talking about that, and he'll be talking about finances and love and his health and all these different things. And there's all these other guys sitting around, and the rule of encounter with our men's group is that no one can give advice. No one can say a thing. The guy gives his stuff, he lets it out, he's frustrated, he's unhappy, things aren't working, he puts it into the middle of the room. When he's done, we go on to the next guy, and we work around the table, right? All of a sudden at the end, I'll turn around and I'll say to someone, what did it feel like to listen to what Jim had to say about all these struggles and challenges? And every guy will say the same thing. I was biting my tongue. I wanted to give advice. I wanted to say, Jim, why don't you just shut up and do this, you know? And that's how we treat our partners. And that's how we treat our wives and our lovers. And it doesn't work. It hasn't worked since the beginning of time. It's not working now. And if you want to be a real man, if you want to be a real partner, if you want to be a real lover, sincere about giving your partner what she needs, I'm going to tell you to follow golden rule number one, and that is be quiet. Sit and listen. Take the heat. Take the heat of what she's saying. Allow her to emotionally release. Because this is what happens. When your partner is telling you the worries of her day, the things with the kids, the thing with the neighbor, the thing with her best friend who now broke up with her other best friend's best boyfriend, blah, 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 the list goes on and on and on, right? And you're saying, well, you know, do this, do that, do that. What you've just done is you just pushed all of her anxiety and frustration back on her. She doesn't feel like she's released a thing. And yet, if you allow your partner to come to you and to talk and to talk and to talk, and at the end of it, you might say something like, you know, I'm really sorry that you had experienced that today, or that must be really challenging, or I feel for the fact that you've been really you've had a hard time. This has been tough for you. When you just say that and shut up, she feels validated. She feels cared for. She feels loved. It's an amazing exchange of intimacy. And yet we've been taught since we were little kids, little boys, to fix because we don't want to sit in their pain. That's the truth. We're not tough enough. We're not strong enough. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how old you are. I'm going to challenge you right now and tell you that if you can't sit and listen to your partner's discomfort, your mothers, your brothers, your sisters, your best friends, if you can't sit and listen and just empathize, you're not a very strong man. See, the image of men is changing, and you're either going to catch up or you're going to be a dinosaur. And I'm saying this with love. I truly am. I lead men's groups. I'm saying this with empathy, sympathy, and love. The problem is we haven't been taught this. That's the problem. But we're shifting that today. The fact that you're watching this right now is you are involved in the shift. You are drawn to this because you want to change. I will tell you, when I allow my partner to speak and to talk, and I allow her just to get it out, I cannot believe what happens afterwards. A few minutes will go by and we'll feel closer. She'll come and hold me. I'll hold her. And I didn't have to give any advice at all. And if she does ask me for my opinion, and this is rule number 2, rule number 1 is don't ever give advice. Number 2 is only give advice when you're asked and double check to make sure that she wants it. So if my partner is talking about how rough she was at the end of the day, or that her friends are doing this or that, and she's missing out on this big event, and she really wants to go, and she feels sad, and she misses her family, and whatever else can come up over the course of her day, I sit there and listen, and I empathize, and I don't say a thing. If she asks for my advice, golden rule number 2 is I say, honey, do you really want to hear what I have to say about that? Or I'll say, honey, are you asking for my opinion? I will double check, because sometimes she's doing it, women will do it to have conversation. They really don't want your opinion. They really don't want your advice, nor do they need it, guys. 90% of the time, women don't even need your advice. They need for you to listen, to be present. That's what they need. More than anything is to listen and be present. And the second time I'll say, do you want my opinion? Would you like to hear what I have to say about it? And I ask her that. And if she says yes, then I'm ready to go. And then I'll go, okay, baby, look out, here it comes. And then I'll give my opinion. But 90% of the time, we don't even go down that road. And our relationship continues to be stronger. The bond continues to build. And the guys that I'm working with in this circle, in our men's group, I'm seeing it happen with them too. So guys, let's wake up to the reality. Let's wake up to the change. You want to be tough. You want to be strong. You want to be that guy in the family who's the foundation, the cement, the rock. All of those things, learn to sit with the silence. Learn to sit with your partner without responding. Do the same thing with your children. Allow them to express their emotions without shoving it back in their face and telling them, take these 3 steps and everything will be fine. If you want to be a man, it's 2009. We're going into 2010. Let's take this trip together. Let's show everyone how strong we are and the foundation that we are for our families. There's no question in my mind, if you follow what I'm talking about, your life will radically change. Your relationships will improve dramatically. I've seen it with all kinds of my clients. I've seen it in my own life. Let's rock and roll, guys. It's time to change. TalkDavid.com is the website. Go there. Read the blogs about these topics and more. Call me. Contact me. Email me. This is the work I do. I would love to help you shift and change, and your family as well. TalkDavid.com. I'm David Essel. Look forward to connecting with you again soon.